Now let us go with the effects on animals and plants. Whose effects we are discussing about? Which is causing or which is influencing or which is affecting plants, animals, insects and human beings?
Migration and adaptation.
Climate.
Migration. We didn't discuss migration.
Mitigation and adaptation of
Climate
greenhouse
change.
Yes, ma'am.
Climate change as global warming.
Yes, ma'am.
If there is a change in the climate, how is it going to affect or exert an influence on animals, plants, insects, and human beings? If there is global warming, what is its influence on and this? If there is a rise in temperatures, simply there is rise in temperatures. If the climatic condition has been changed, if there is rise in temperature, then how is it going to affect plants, animals, insects, and human beings? Now let us go on with a few examples which are very notable, like as you said, our climate has been changing and it is going to influence all plants, animals, and human beings. These 3 or 4 domains. How there is a change in the climate, we have discussed already. What are the reasons for that, and what are the mitigative as well as adaptive strategies we have to maintain? We have discussed how a change in the climate can be produced. Discussed already. What are the short-lived and long-lived gases, and what are the greenhouse gases responsible, and what is the mechanism by the greenhouse gases adapted in order to have a change in the temperatures. All these things we have discussed earlier. Now let us go on with simply the effects on animals, plants, and how is it going to influence plants and animals? If this change in climate has not been controlled, in the near future, quarter of the land, animals as well as plants are going to become extinct, it seems. What is extinction? Till now it is thought that none of the plants and animals have become extincted. If this change continues, and in the near future, after few years, a few decades, quarter of the land, animals and plants become extincted, it seems. What is extinction?
No more in existence, ma'am.
No?
No more in existence.
No more in existence. They are going to become extincted, it seems. EXTINCT. And climate, if there is a variability in the climate, they are going to affect the number of animals in a number of ways. Plants bloom earlier, it seems, if there is change in the climate, especially if there is high rise in temperature. Plants bloom earlier. What is plants blooming earlier? What is blooming?
Growing.
Growing. Flowers bloom, plants bloom, they grow very early, it seems, and they are going to end up their life very soon, it seems, if there is high rise in global temperatures. And the important effect we have to discuss is 30% of Caribbean beaches are used by turtles, it seems. They are going to use these beaches, Caribbean beaches, as their nesting places, where they can have their resting place and breed the young ones. These turtles, Caribbean beaches, are used by turtles, sea turtles. What are turtles?
Tortoise.
Tortoise-like animals.
Tortoise-like animals are not exactly tortoises. If there is 50 centimeters of sea level rise, their nesting beaches or their nesting places will be destroyed. in the places of beaches, they are going to have their nesting places and they are going to breed the young ones who are going to sea turtles. If there is 50 centimeter rise in sea level, their nesting places will get destroyed. If they are getting destroyed, then the offsprings are also going to be destroyed. Then there is a change in the population dynamics with reference to sea turtles. This is a notable change, and this rise in sea level is also going to destroy the places which were used by whales, dolphins and other sea animals which need shallow, gentle waters in order to rear their small animals. This also get destroyed. What are places with shallow waters?
Ponds.
See, in rivers also, like near the shore, shallow water will be there. The water is not in depth. Such places are used by whales, dolphins and other sea animals in order to rear their small animals, in order to rear their calves, we say. Their young generations are called as calves, C-A-L-V-E-S. You will rear their calves, and if there is rise in sea level, such places with shallow waters are also get submerged. Again, it is going to disturb the species of these sea animals. And the next important animals are wild beasts, it seems. These beasts generally we see in African countries. If there is high rise in temperatures, they start migrating. This migration is very notable and very important, and millions of wild beasts from African countries start migration. What is migration?
Moving from one place to another.
Even brains also migrate, moving from one place to another. In order to free themselves from such high temperatures, they'll start moving to other places. And in the African countries, they stop this particular wild beast migration by constructing fences. What are fences? F-E-N-C-E-S. What are fences? F-E-N-C-E-S.
Fence around the field, ma'am, it will obstruct.
It will obstruct. It is nothing but like with wooden sticks we can build a fence with barbed wire. Generally we see the fence with a barbed wire, generally in our surroundings. Usually in African countries they build fence with what material they are going to build. It is not mentioned, but they build fences, it seems, in order to obstruct the migration of wild beast in African countries. And there are also in many rivers and seas many fish who start migrating from one river to the other river in order to breed and spawn. What is spawn and what is breed? From pond to river they may migrate. What is spawn? Did you hear any time? Breeding is nothing but producing an offspring, producing daughter generations. And spawning is nothing but releasing egg or sperm from them. And in order to breed and spawn, many migratory fish start migrating up the river for these two processes, for spawning as well as breeding. This also get obstructed if there is high rise in temperatures. And there is one more problem on the other side of the coin, like on the other side of climate change. The atmosphere is sucking moisture from the land at a greater rate than ever before, causing severe droughts in many countries, which will have its impact on reduced crop production and drinking water shortages. So in this way, many animals get disturbed, like migratory fish, sea turtles and sea animals like whales, dolphins, etc. Not only they are going to get disturbed, on the other side it is going to suck much moisture. The air is going to suck much moisture. What does it mean? There is a rise in global temperature, what happens? Or if there is high rise in temperatures, what happens?
Water gets
Simply
evaporated.
what happens? Water gets evaporated. If there is hot weather conditions, what happens? It sucks more moisture from the earth surface. If it sucks more moisture, what happens? Like this topic we have discussed in 2.1, I suppose. If more water gets evaporated from the surface of the land, what happens? You know many things, as it is a general subject. Many things you might have studied, you might have come across. Only thing is that you have to share. Only 1, 2, 14 students are there. You can freely interact. What happens if the levels of evaporation is more?
Ma'am, the tiny water droplets it will mix up with the air, ma'am. Then
If more water gets evaporated from the earth's surface, what happens? Or from the land?
Drought condition, ma'am. Drought condition on earth, and after a few months more rain will come, like that.
Okay, it depends upon the geographical location. See, if there are certain places where if there is good rise in temperature, it is going to suck more amount of water from the land. And if more amount of the water has been evaporated and the water available for the growth of the plants becomes least. So sufficient amount of water is not available, and there is another problem associated with it. And we can also we are going to experience reduced crop production. Just wait for a while. Okay, we experience reduced crop production as well as less amount of water will be made available for drinking also. These are the two problems associated with high rise in temperatures than the average temperatures. Clear? And till now, it is thought that no species has been extincted, it seems, but if the problem of climate change or global warming continues, and many of the land plants and animals are going to become extincted, then how can we reduce this problem? Then who can do that? Can we as human beings can provide a solution for a problem? Is it possible for us?
Yes, ma'am. By growing more trees, we can control the temperature, ma'am.
Yes, by growing more trees, plants, etc. They are going to absorb CO2. On 50%, it is going to account for climate change.
Yes, ma'am. It leads to rainfall.
Are the people?
It leads to rainfall also, ma'am, by growing more trees.
More number of plants and trees. In that way, you're not audible, Sangamitra.
Ma'am, it
In
leads
that
to
way, we can
rainfall.
reduce. Yes, yes. So it is in our hands to reduce
And
this the severity of this particular problem.
ma'am,
It is caused
by
by human beings as well as
బిల్డింగ్ ఇంకుడు గుంతలు అంటారు కదా మేడం.
soap pits.
యా
So that even though there is loss of water, we can go for mitigation as well as adaptation strategies. Like by constructing soap pits in each and every home, then we can hold the rainwater for the further or future usage. Such strategies we need to implement. It is not only the responsibility of the government, as it is human induced, as this problem is not only caused by natural factors, as it is human beings induced or human induced. So we have to take necessary steps, and this implementation of strategies will start from individual to local to national level. So let us look on to the effects on insects. Is there any disturbance created to the survival of insects? Animals, we have seen. Not much, it is noted. It is going to influence the insect species population dynamics through its effects on survival. Whose effects? Global warming effects or rising temperature effects on generation time. And one important word we have, fecundity. Did you hear any time the word fecundity? Fecundity. It is going to have its effects on survival, generation time, fecundity. It is nothing but the reproductive capacity. Reproductive capacity of insects also. This particular global warming is going to have its influence on the fecundity levels of the insects. Global warming is going to have its influence as well as the dispersal, like dispersal of insects. But there is one advantage for insects living in mid latitude to high latitude regions, and which a part on the globe is considered as mid latitude, not mid altitude. Altitude is height. Here it is mid latitude. And where is the position of mid latitude on the globe? Can anyone?
Ma'am, is it in temperate zone, ma'am? Temperate zone?
Like from the equator, from 0 degrees to 30 north or south, it is low latitude. Latitudinal region you have to take into. అది మీకే బాగా తెలుసు whether it is temperate region.
Tropical zone, ma'am.
From 30 to, I am not aware of whether it is tropical or temperate. You have to tell me tomorrow. But from 30 to 60 degrees north or south, it is considered as mid latitude. From 60 to 90 degrees at the equator, it is considered as high latitude region, it seems.
Yes, ma'am, because
as in high latitude.
Ma'am, the region which is closer to equator is temperate zone, ma'am. And next to that will come under tropical zone. Then at the last towards the poles, north and south poles, it is polar region.
South?
Arctic and Antarctic circle. Near to that, it is polar region.
In polar region, summers are cold. Winters are very cold. Cold winters and very cold winters and cold summers we experience in polar regions. Generally we see. And because of rise in what you said is right. Because of rise in temperatures and in such regions where there is cold climate, because of rise in temperature, it is going to benefit the insects in order to survive well. And in the other regions other than mid latitude and high latitude, in the regions with warmer winter temperatures, insect species mortality rate will be decreased, it seems. In the other regions other than where there are warmer winters, where warmer winters we experience, in such regions, because of rising temperatures, insect species mortality rate will be decreased. These are the two advantages if there is rise in temperatures. In the regions with cool temperatures, there that particular temperature conditions are not favorable for the insect species to survive. In such places, it is going to benefit the insects with rise in temperatures, and in the regions with warmer winter temperatures, insect species mortality rate will be decreased. What is mortality rate? Winters are generally cold. If there is a warmer winter, then insects will thrive well or survive well. What is mortality rate?
Life expectancy.
Mortality. We have mortality, morbidity, mortality.
Life expectancy, ma'am.
Okay, death rate simply. Mortal, death, mortality, death rate. Death rate, insect species death rate will be decreased. And in the other regions, if there is high rise in temperatures, above the average, it is going to affect the insects with respect to their survival, with respect to their dispersal, with respect to their fecundity also. The rates of ability to reproduce, ability to give rise to offsprings, it also get influenced by rise in temperatures. Until now, it has not been decided, or it has not been found out that these species have become extincted because of global increase in global temperatures. But in future, if this problem goes on in the same way, if there is high rise in temperatures, if we experience it for the upcoming many years or decades, then we are going to see that many animals, plants as well as insects become extincted. Now, effects on human health. This you can tell me. Keep in your mind the change in climate or climate change as well as nothing but global warming. And now tell me, what are the effects on human health?
Ma'am, if the climate becomes extremely hot or extremely cold, then the human survival becomes impossible, ma'am, on the planet.
ఇక్కడ చేంజ్ ఇన్ క్లైమేట్ లో others you need to share your ideas. Only Sangamitra and Nitesh are responding. Are you there? Hello? Sandhya, are you there?
Ma'am?
ఏం మాట్లాడట్లేదు ఉందమ్మా ఎవరు?
Ma'am?
Now there is high rise in temperature and the summer is very hot. It is highly not possible for all of us to hear the classes, and I feeling lo unnaru andaru.
No, ma'am. Due to the global warming, as it is already discussed that climate change may be happen, then melting of ice.
If ice melts, what happens?
There would be a rise in sea level, ma'am.
If there is rise in sea level, what happens? Now you are on your way.
like
There is rise in
ecosystem
temperature,
may
ice caps melt.
degrade, whatever.
Ah,
Yes, ma'am. Like ecosystem will degrade, like due to the change in whatever hydrological cycle is there. Am I right, ma'am?
yes, yes. It gets disturbed. If there is rise in temperature,
Then,
ice caps melts. If they melt, sea level rises. If sea level rises, floods occurs as per Stravely. If there is a flood, what happens? Now you have to continue. Finally, it should have its impact on the
flood
human health.
occurs like yes, ma'am. Like
If
human
floods
life is being
occurs,
disrupted on a
if it destroys the
and major
human health, what happens?
biodiversity. Yes, pardon, ma'am.
If floods occurs,
Hello.
human being because of floods, humans may lose their lives. Some they may get injured. There is
Yes,
a chance of crop failure too. There are floods, పంటలన్నీ మునిగిపోతాయి. That is for plants it is a big problem. And for human beings, they are going to end up their lives.
Yes, ma'am.
If
And
they get
moreover-
submerged like they may get injured. Finally, it is going to
Yes.
have its impact.
Like moreover,
if there are
coastal-
droughts,
Yes, coastal areas may submerged, and mass migration of humans and animals will be there, due to which
Yes.
everything will be changed, ma'am.
yes, yes,
And
mass
again,
migration takes
soil
place.
erosion problems will happen.
Yes, yes. Because of floods, people may lose their life, and those who survive, they have to migrate from that place to another place. Like as you said, there is a chance of mass migration, like a big number of, like large number of people moving from one place to another place, and this could be possible because of floods. And if there are droughts, so if you take coastal areas or coastal regions, we just see floods.
Yes, ma'am.
Especially we can take the city of Visakhapatnam. Very often we hear the news
Yes,
of floods. Very often we hear the news of Tufan, like Hudhud, etc. కోస్టల్ ఏరియాస్
Yes,
ఎక్కడైతే ఉన్నాయో అక్కడ ఫ్లడ్స్ వచ్చే ఛాన్సెస్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటాయి. ఎందుకంటే వాటర్ కంటెంట్ హెస్ బిన్ మోర్, rivers are more. So rise in sea level or rise in the level of water in rivers, then there could be every possible chance to occur the floods. Now let us take our regions. If there is less rainfall, what happens?
Humidity in the temperature increases, resulting in the failure of growing of crops, ma'am. Due to which again migration will take place. Like it is a cycle going on and on.
Yes, because of floods also mass migration is possible. Because of droughts also mass migration is possible. And if there is reduced crop production, then we may suffer from. Majority of the people be under below BPL may suffer from malnutrition too. And if there is economic
ma'am.
disruption, and if we want a help from the government or the other sources, this may lead to, if we don't receive the necessary help from them, we may go for social unrest too.
Yes, ma'am.
It is nothing but civil disobedience. We may protest, we may march, we may fight against such sources like the government, etc. And socially, economically, and politically, we are going to get disturbed because of change in the climate. Direct impact or direct effect is like the occurrence of floods and droughts, but there are many indirect impacts on the health of the human beings plants, animals and insects too. Now let us look into direct and indirect consequences. Few details. What are the direct and indirect consequences of climate change? With reference to human beings, direct as well as indirect consequences same ఉన్నాయి. What is the cause? Climate change is the cause. What is the consequence? You have to tell me with reference to human beings.
Ma'am, due to the climate change, like some people may not adapt that change. Like they may not be able to bear extreme heatness or extreme coldness, like, and which will affect on their health.
Because of rise in temperature, we experience hot weather conditions. This is a direct effect on the human beings. And what is the indirect effect? And because of hot weather, what is the indirect influence or the indirect effect on the human beings? We may suffer from heat exhaustions or heat stroke. Usually we refer it as sunstroke, heat stroke or heat exhaustion, heat cramps, etc.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the indirect impact. What is the direct impact? It is the hot weather conditions. Floods, like tsunamis, or the drought conditions. Those are direct impacts. And what are the indirect impacts? We know very well. Reduced crop production, then we are going to suffer from malnutrition. These are the direct and indirect consequences too. If higher temperatures, even though the more important point, like even higher temperatures pose many health risks to the people who are working outside. As I said, under adaptive strategy, we discussed that there is a financial limit which limit the people to adapt to this particular situations. If there is hot weather and we people, as we can survive, we may sit at home, but what about the builders, or what about the masons, or what about the farmers? They have to work outside. If they sit at home, it is not possible for them, as they are supposed to meet their financial needs. They have to go. Then what are the indirect consequences they are going to face with because of hot weather conditions? Just now I have told you. It poses major health risks. Generally, especially during summers, we hear many people who are working outside. అక్కడే చనిపోయారు, పడిపోయారు because of sunstroke, వాడ దెబ్బ తగిలింది అని we hear many news. ఇప్పుడు ఆ న్యూస్ అంతా ఏం లేదు, ఓన్లీ కరోనా న్యూసే ఉంది. కానీ బిఫోర్ we used to hear lots of news. మరి ఈ హెల్త్ రిస్క్ ఎవరికి పైన ఎక్కువగా ఉంటుంది? హూ ఆర్ ద వల్నరబుల్ గ్రూప్స్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ హాట్ వెదర్ కండిషన్స్ ఆర్ ద పీపుల్ హూ ఆర్ వర్కింగ్ అవుట్ సైడ్. ఓకే.
Yes,
The rate of destruction is not same to all the people living in the state or living in the country. It may differ as per their social and economic status too. But anyways, we have to take the problem of concern to, it is a problem of concern to each and everyone, as we are living in an environment, as we have close connection with the nature, as we are a part of nature, we have to take care of our environment. It is the responsibility of each and everyone. There is no other alternative, as it is human induced, and we are the people who are supposed to control it. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
There are few diseases also, like malaria and cholera. They also increase as if the temperature increases and if the rainfall increases. Malaria is caused by Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium vivae, etc. And these are the parasites which are going to cause malaria. in human beings, and such kind of diseases, the occurrence of such kind of diseases increases as the temperature increases. Why? This rise in temperature or high temperatures are very much suitable for the growth of such organisms. Then they spread easily. Cholera is caused by the bacterium Vibrio cholerae, and malaria is caused by the organism. It is a parasite. It is not a bacterium, nor it is neither a bacterium nor a virus, but it is a parasite which causes malaria in human beings. These two diseases are more prevalent in conditions where the temperatures are more. When the temperature increases, the occurrence of such diseases also gets increased. We have to be very cautious. And we have one more topic called malnutrition and mental health. And let us continue tomorrow. And then we can move on to 2.4, energy conservation. 3 R's. You all know very well what are 3 R's, I suppose. Now you have to tell me many points. I request all to speak up. You're just coming and going. Only 15 to 16 is the strength. And you people, if you won't speak, how I will come to know that you are attentive, whether you are listening or not. Okay, regarding reduce, reuse and recycle, let us discuss tomorrow. But I request you all to speak up. It is not completely new subject to you all. Environmental education you had earlier. Topics related to environment you had earlier. Environmental science you have studied. I think it is like a paper in degree also, where you are supposed to clear your paper called environmental education, whose marks are not included in the total. Is it not so?
Yes, ma'am.
And right from your first grade, you've been studying many topics related to environment. It is not completely a new subject. Like, you can speak up. Let us make this session an interactive one. And if it is pedagogy, you may not know. But this is very general subject.
Yes, ma'am.
Then this subject has been placed in the curriculum for many other courses too.
Yes, ma'am.
So I request you all to come up and share your ideas from tomorrow onwards. This is not good.
Sure, ma'am.
Just remember rules. Paulo Freire is teacher and students need to learn at the same time. I may learn many things from you. You may learn many things from me. Dialogue and theory of learning, concept of dialogue or concept of conversation, you people have forgot. Conversation,
Sure, ma'am.
conversation or communication should need to be highlighted in the teaching learning process. Otherwise, it will not be made effective.
Okay, ma'am.
There are many advantages too. If you also speak up, then you will be attentive. Okay? I don't feel good actually. Sandhya, are you there? Shravani, are you there? No, I don't want to call your names. You have to come up You have to interact. Now you can leave the session. Let us meet tomorrow.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.